Shh. Let's all take a breath, quietly. Let's all experience a moment of peace and quiet. Just the sound of breathing. I hope you enjoyed dinner, courtesy of Lester's Diner, and our good friends Angela and Peter Dugages, the Greeks, whose father started Lester's Diner. Okay. I am going to call up our master facilitator of the, should we say the name yet? Of the Bafá Bafá game. Yes, Bafá Bafá. You are going to experience the world of Bafá Bafá by Keegan Wendell, Martha Lazinski, and Juliana Wright. Let's have our facilitators come forward. And from here on out, please follow every instruction to the T. Listen, because you're going to miss it. And games like this are, let me tell you, we found this game. This is a game that in corporate America, they hire facilitators to come in for like thousands of dollars to give their employees an experience for lots of reasons. So we're, shh. You know, there are people who aren't going to be able to play the game tonight, and we can easily swap them out with people who will be willing to listen and quiet to get the most out of this. This is nice. Okay, take it away, Keegan.
All right, Isaiah, do we have the PowerPoint loaded?
Right behind you, brother.
Okay, awesome. All right, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? You ready for this? All right, first thing off the bat, this is not a game. It's not. It is not a game. This is a simulation. Okay, it's going to feel kind of like a game, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to understand everything that's happening, but that's okay. You're going to understand some things. The beauty happens when you all get together and discuss what just happened. This is more of an experience of, just think of it this way. What if I were to beat you over the head? You. And ship you off to China and just throw you out in the wild in China, and that's what you're going to be going through. It's going to be like that. As if I took you. You don't know the language. You don't know anything about the people, the food, yada, yada, where to go. I'm going to take you and I'm going to ship you off to China. Just you, by yourself. It's going to be like that. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an adventure. And I'm telling you something right now. If you can experience as many crazy situations like that, scary situations that you've overcome, life-changing experiences, you will be valuable to others. You'll be valuable to God. You'll be an interesting person with a wealth of experiences to share to other people, a lot of rich stories to tell. You'll be interesting to others. You'll be valuable to others. You'll be valuable to God. And that is what this simulation is about. So let's get to the first point. This is the orientation. Can somebody put up number one? Point number one. Outline of activities. Point number one, please. I am going to divide you into two cultures, the alpha culture and the beta culture. All right? Alpha culture and the beta culture after this brief orientation. Point number two. You're going to learn and practice your new culture. In the real world, members of another culture, they develop shared meanings and ways of interacting with others, with one another, over many centuries. A person in another culture learns different rules and reasons for various behaviors over his or her entire lifetime. In this experience, we are going to give you the rules, and you are to learn them in a very short amount of time. It may seem complicated, but you're going to get 30 minutes worth of practice, and I guarantee you it's going to be, you're going to forget everything you knew, and you're going to be this culture now. Forget everything you know, you're a new culture, you've got a new identity, a cultural identity, a new way of doing things. And it's going to be fun. You're not going to understand everything. You're going to understand everything, maybe a little bit. But that's okay. That's the beauty of it. This is an experiment. Okay? Now, point number three. Select an observer. When you're in a new culture, each group will select a person to travel to the other culture to observe the ways they behave with one another. All right? And they are to share what they learn to the other group so they can give them a warning. Oh, this is what it's like. So they'll have the benefit of knowing what that observer thinks about it. When the observer gets there, they're trying to figure out the rules that govern this culture, the way they behave, by carefully observing their actions. It is not permissible for the observer to ask a member of that other culture about the rules. The cultural rules are to be figured out by observation only. Later, by trial and error. Point number 4. Exchange observers. Once the alpha culture and the beta culture are well established, the observer will be sent to the other culture. The alpha culture over to you, observer, and the beta culture observer comes to the alpha culture. They will be wearing, like I'm wearing here, they'll be wearing a badge that has their home culture name on it. Each observer will have to learn as much as they can within approximately 2 minutes about that culture. And then they will go back to the other culture and share what they learned. It must be remembered, they cannot communicate. They cannot ask any questions. If you ask a question, if you're an observer and you ask a question, it will not be answered. You're only there to watch what's going on, and then you'll be sent back. All right? Next point. Observers return and report their observations. The observer will return to his or her own culture and share what they've learned, describe what they think is the values, the culture, the customs of whatever they just happened, and they'll try to share this for the group's benefit, the culture's benefit, so that when the visitor groups go and visit the other culture, they'll have the whole entire group's wealth of knowledge to interact with the other culture. Point number 6. Then we will exchange a set of visitors. Once each group has talked and discussed the report of the observer, the cultures will be started again as they were when the observer came in. They'll be reset. Once each culture is reset, visitors will be sent out. Visitors will be wearing the badge. Remember the badge? There will be 6 visitors to come and experience this culture. And the point is to try to successfully, this time they're going to successfully try to interact with the other culture. This is going to be wild, okay? Myself, Juliana, and Martha. Let's clap. Let's get a clap. They are going to be on the beta team. I'm going to be the facilitator for the alpha team. We are going to decide, we are going to indicate to you how many visitors are going to be set out, how much time they have to visit, yada, yada, yada. So, this is going to be happening while the simulation is paused. Yes, sir?
Are they allowed to ask questions?
No. Okay. Number 7. Each set of visitors reports its observation. Each returning group of visitors will report to your culture everything that happened and try to come up with a plan, a formulation of how to interact with this culture successfully. Remember, this is like traveling the world. We're traveling another culture. These guys are pretty weird. What do we do? Well, this is what they're doing. I don't know. We'll try this, okay? Number 8. End of simulation. Okay. So, after every one of you has an opportunity to go out to the other culture, the simulation will end. And then we will come together. We'll get you all here together. This is where the magic happens. To discuss the implications. We're going to discuss the implications of what this whole simulation meant. Point number 9. We will discuss and analyze the experience. The culture will be brought in here together. This is where the magic happens. And we will analyze. We'll analyze and we'll come up with different theories, hypotheses, an analysis of what the culture is like. Data will be gathered. And then that will be the first part. A group discussion. And then a small group discussion will take place. And then that will be it. How's that sound? Does that sound fun? Does that sound wild? My name's Keegan Wildman Wendell. Let's start this.